When you're backstage, you're going to see two different kinds of intercom link-ups. So the first is going to be this kind of box right here that has channel A and B. Now don't forget that it's A and B, but on the stage manager box that's A and D. So you need to set these specifically to either the actors or other stage managers. So A is what you want to set all the boxes downstairs in the dressing rooms as A, so that when you have the volume turned all the way up, if the stage manager is talking on A, the actors can hear that. So you can use that as a page to get people to come upstairs or whatnot. If you are backstage, you clearly want the volume to be turned all the way down, but you can also put a headset into this, so you can use this box as a way to talk on that. There are various other sort of intercom plugins around the stage. And those are usually labeled, and so what you can do is just plug in your 6-pin cable to it and then hook up a box thusly. So you should be able to have wired options for your fly crew or whatnot. There's one last option here, and that's the wireless option. I'm going to roll into the next space in order to show that to you, but before I do, I want to show you one handy thing. So this is the master light control. Let me get you a little closer to the screen. So right here, if you go to the home screen, you can go to work light switches, and when you click work light switches, you can hit next. This is where you can turn on all different kinds of lights. The 4-stage technical, and here we are on stage right. There is the door. In a moment, I'm going to roll through this door. This is 4-stage technical. This is where you need the 6A3 key or get into these pages. And that is found in the lockbox. If you're the stage manager or the ASM, you will have access to the lock code. It generally changes at least once a semester, if not once a show. But this is where you can turn on the light in there. You don't have to be in the dark. There's some other options on here that you can work with based on what you need for each show. Technical 4-stage on stage right. I also want to caution you, never go into the technical 4-stage on stage left. That is all for IT. IT will be very angry if you mess with their stuff, unless you actually work for IT, and then you can do that in your official capacity. This is the lock, the 6A3 I was talking about, to get into this cage. This is where all the items for the clear comms are stored. After every performance, look at me, every performance, and any time you can, lock this back up. I do not want to walk in here and find it unlocked. There's two reasons for this. This is the most accessible place for the iPad for controlling lighting, and so I keep it in here. And if you leave this cage unlocked, it will get stolen, and I will come for you. So this is the cage door. You will find various ClearComm boxes here. There's also the wireless boxes, and you will see some old tape labeling from past shows. Make sure you remove that at the end of the show. That way we get less of these cruddy tape marks. And it is best if you don't call it by what it is, but rather who you're talking to. So instead of D, say SM line, or B, lighting line, whatever it may be. So I am going to, look at my scarf. I'm going to come into this cage. In here, we have all kinds of different cables. There's some 3-pin in here. This is where all of your headsets are, all of that. The other thing that you will want to do is hook up your wireless headset. So the wireless headsets are for generally ASMs or people who must be mobile, like maybe your sound designer will want one of these so they can move around the house and still talk to the director. That may be the case. In that case, they'll be talking to them on a different line than the sound people. But you always want to put a battery in here. And so the way that this works is there is a little release mechanism right here. Release mechanism will confound you at first. You have to push down on it, and it sort of clicks over, but you have to put a lot of pressure, and that sort of rejects the battery. You shouldn't be ripping it out of there. It sort of moves and pushes the battery on. Okay, it's not easy, but you shouldn't be pulling on the battery. You should be pulling back on this release mechanism right here, just pulling straight back on it. Okay, you're going to want to charge these after every rehearsal. Unlike in the studio, these can stay on the charger. It won't damage the battery. The ones in the studio, you should never leave the batteries for the ClearComs on the charger longer than 1 day. Ideally, you would come in later that day and pull them off because they'd be charged in a few hours. So that's how you set these up. There's also something else you should know about the wireless headsets. So it has the same thing of you click once to talk, click twice for it to stay on. You can toggle the channel by clicking on this. Depending on which one is lit up is the one that you'll be able to talk on. So you will be on A. You should be on A and D. So the actors or the other stage managers should be the only people that you really are talking to here. So you can turn the power on, and here is what it looks like when you are on A. And here's what it looks like when you are B. And then when you talk, you have this option. Okay, and then there's the volume control. The other thing is there is our wireless antennae here. They come unscrewed. So on a regular basis, you want to re-screw these in so they don't fall off. If they fall off and get lost, it makes this horrible squelchy noise. We call it the frog. So if one of them is making a funky noise, try and switch it out for a different one. If you can't, well, just try and give them all a little tighten and a little love. If you ever lose one of these antennae, you need to let me know. And search for it because they're kind of expensive. But always make sure that you're tightening these. And sometimes when they touch, they do weird things. So you just want to be careful with these wireless. They're great for the freedom, but they kind of suck for other reasons. Anything else that oh, you always want to turn the power off after you're finished with them, and then remove that battery and put it back on the charger for the next day. That should be about it. So if you have further questions, just let me know. I know that this is all a lot of information. Just know that as you put this together, you need to leave a lot of time for it. Don't try and do this the day of tech. You will hate yourself and everyone around you. Make sure that you leave some time before tech to set the stuff up and test it with your crew. Okay, it's really important that you have them press buttons and that you are back at the ClearCom box, making sure that everybody's talking on the right one and it's all labeled the way that it makes sense to everyone. Okay, great. Good luck.